The reason you want financial education, financial literacy, and financial IQ is just for two words. These are the two most important words in the world of money. And those words are the reason you want financial education, financial literacy, and a high financial IQ is to control these two words. Cash flow are two words that are more important than job security or college degree. See, you can have job security and not manage cash flow, and you can have a college degree, and as you know, you don't learn anything about money in school anyway, so you can't control your cash flow. So financial education, literacy, and IQ is to learn to control these two words. Cash flow. Cash flow. If you ask any entrepreneur, the most important job of an entrepreneur is to control cash flow. Not your GPA, your grade point average. It's cash flow. So financial geniuses control cash flow. So once again, going back to the financial statement and the cash flow game, let me explain to you why cash flow is so important. Again, this is income, expense, assets, and liabilities. This is what a cash flow pattern of a poor person looks like. Money comes in and money goes out. They can't stop spending. You spend on food, shelter, cars, gas, clothing. This is a poor person's cash flow pattern. It's not how much money you make. It's how much money you spend. As you know, most wives say, my husband doesn't make enough money. And most husbands would say, my wife spends too much money. That's a poor person. But also we have these sports stars or movie stars or rock stars who make millions of dollars when they're 20, but they spend it all before they're 30. And so it's how they manage their cash flow that makes them poor. And then you have the middle class. And this is the cash flow pattern of a middle class person. They go to school, get a job. The first thing they want to do is buy the big house. And the house is a liability because the cash is flowing out. Even if you owe nothing on the house, it's still taking money out of your pocket through maintenance and repairs. Then they buy a nice car, and they call that car asset, when it's really a liability because the cash keeps flowing out. And that's a middle class person. And that's why for people, again, it's not how much money you make, it's that you spend too much money. These are the people here. You should listen to Susie Orman, who says, cut up your credit cards and stop spending. And these are people here, should listen to Dave Ramsey. Very, very smart people, both Susie and Dave. For people who cannot control this here, they have a house, they have car payments, they have student loan debt, and they have credit card debt. These guys have bad debt, and the cash is flowing out. It takes financial intelligence, financial IQ, financial education to stop that bleeding. So what happens to the middle class here is they buy things they think are assets, but they're really liabilities. That's what happens without a financial education. See, it's really insanity. Calling a liability an asset is nuts. It's crazy. It'll keep you poor for the rest of your life. Oh, my house is an asset. It's not an asset, it's a liability. My car is an asset. No, it's a liability. And what financial education does is it teaches you to have cash flow into here. The reason I don't work for money is I'm doing my best to acquire assets. So this is what my income statement is, always this way. My cash is flowing that way. So this is the cash flow pattern of a rich person. So the purpose of the cash flow game is to increase your financial education, your financial literacy. Can you read a financial statement? Can you read this thing? Do you understand the vocabulary? That's what literacy is. And can you change the problem? You know, if you have problems here, your IQ says, I got to shift money from here to here. So a couple more things. Assets produce income. You know, every year, my wife Kim and I add more assets. We don't have a job, we just add more assets. Generally, it's another business, another piece of real estate, oil, gold, or silver. Okay? That's what the rich do.